Hey guys, thanks for tuning into Chef Girl RD. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make some garlic smashed potatoes. And as you can see, we're making them in the Ninja Foodi XL Pro Air Fry Oven. Alright, so to get started, very simple. We're not going to need that many ingredients. To start, I have a 1 pound bag of baby potatoes. I'm going to be using 5 large cloves of garlic. I've got a half a teaspoon of sea salt and crushed black pepper. I'm going to be using this garlic infused oil. You can use whatever oil that you want. You can use an avocado oil, olive oil. I just happen to like this garlic infused olive oil. It's very, very good. I'm also going to be using 1 whole stick of salted butter. And you want to find something microwave safe to heat up the butter. So I'm just going to be using this glass measuring cup. And you want a medium size bowl. So now I'm just going to take my potatoes. I'm going to cut open this net and I'm going to dump them right in my bowl. Now normally I do rinse potatoes, but when I use baby potatoes, I don't usually rinse them. But it's completely optional too. You can rinse them if you want. And now I just went ahead and put on some gloves because I'm going to pour on my oil. And this is as much as you want. I mean, I'm using probably a 1/4 cup. And I'm just gonna toss them. And I'm gonna kind of rub them all just to get that oil all over them. That's why I'm wearing the gloves. So, just something like this. All right, so these are all set. Now I'm going to take them and I'm going to pour them right onto the sheet pan. Just like that. And I just went ahead and spread them all out evenly on the sheet pan. Now you're going to come over to your air fry oven. We're going to power it up. We're going to change the function over to bake right there. We're gonna do a time of 25 minutes, but for my temp, I'm gonna go up all the way to 450. And now I'm gonna hit start. I'm gonna let that preheat for 5 minutes. So while we're waiting for that to preheat, I'm just gonna take my garlic and I'm gonna mince that right up. All right, my garlic's all minced up and I just added that to my measuring cup. And I'm just going to take my butter, I'm just going to cut that right in half, open it up, and I'm going to put this in the measuring cup as well. Just like that. And we got about another minute and 20 seconds. And I don't like to waste, especially when it's a garlic infused oil, so this remaining oil that I have, I'm just going to scrape in with my butter mixture. All right, 5-minute preheat is up, so I'm gonna open up the oven and I'm gonna put in my potatoes on rack number 3. I'm gonna shut that and we're gonna let them cook 20 minutes. All right, guys, we have 5 minutes left, so I'm just gonna take a look. Pull that out. And now I'm just gonna take one out and I'm gonna poke it. You can use a toothpick. I'm using a skewer. And I just wanna poke it through the middle and see how much more we have to go. So that went through, but it was, I pushed a little bit. So you know what, I'm gonna let it continue the 5 minutes and we'll call it an even 20 minutes. All right, let's take a look. They look good, they smell amazing. So now we're just gonna take them out carefully. And I'm just gonna set them down onto my cutting board. All right, so these are ready to be smashed. Before I do that, I am going to just flip them all over, because if you notice, the bottom side is sitting in oil, and that will help eliminate the potatoes from sticking to the mug. For the most part. I mean, it's not foolproof, but it's just what I like to do. You can do whatever you want. All right, so all my brown sides are facing up. I'm just going to take my coffee mug. You can definitely use something else. You can use a potato masher, you can use a coffee mug, or whatever you see fit, but I find this works best for me. So now I'm just gonna take it and I'm gonna push down and twist. You're gonna hear like a little pop, and sometimes they still stick, like I said, but that's what you're gonna end up with. And now I'll just go ahead and do another one. Again, you just want to push, give a little twist. You're going to hear a little pop. And you can even use a little spatula to kind of take it off if you need to. And so on. They don't usually stick this much, so of course, that's the way. But not a big deal. So you guys get the point. You see what I'm doing here? If you want them really thin, you could smoosh harder. If you want them a little thicker, smoosh less. And so on. Ooh. There we go, that one didn't stick. Perfect. All right, and I'm just gonna do the rest. All right, so here they are. They're all smashed up. That's the bottom of my cup, not too bad. Look pretty good. So let's go ahead and melt our butter. Now this I'm just gonna pop in the microwave about 45 seconds or whatever it takes to melt it all. You could do this on the stove if you prefer, but play it safe and easy today. I'm just gonna pop it right in the microwave. All right, so butter's all melted with our garlic. Look at that, doesn't that look delicious? Yum. Now I've got my salt and pepper here. I'm just gonna give that a little mix together. And now I'm just gonna sprinkle that on. As much or as little as you guys want. And now for your garlic butter, you can either pour it on or brush it on. I'm gonna brush it on because it does tend to get clumpy and you wanna cover everything really well. So I'm just gonna brush each potato. And who knows, I might end up pouring the rest after. Guys, these smell so good already. All right, so that covered fairly well. I actually have just a little left over. I'm just gonna leave it as is. No need to use that up. These look great. Next, this is optional, but I'm gonna just top it all off with some parsley. Just for a little garnish, make them look pretty. You could also use some Italian seasoning if you wanted. And you can even sprinkle on some grated parmesan. That's entirely up to you. All right, look at these. All right, so now back to our oven. I'm gonna choose air fry, and I'm gonna do, let's say 16 minutes. I'm not sure on the time. We're just gonna keep an eye on it and we'll wing it. And for the temp, we're gonna stick to 450. All right. Now we're gonna hit start and we're just gonna keep an eye on them. All right, guys, let's take a look. That was 16 minutes. And I'll tell you what, these look amazing. Ugh. Now, if you want them crispier than what's here, you could tack on a couple more minutes. That's completely up to you. Depends how you like them. But I'm gonna take a little peek here. I'm gonna try to pick one up. Look at the bottom. Oh, these are so good. So they're not crispy. They're a little crispy on top, but they don't seem crispy all around. So you know what? Maybe I'll leave them in a few more minutes and see what happens. So I'm gonna shut that. And I just punched in 5 minutes and we're gonna let it keep going. All right, so that was an additional 5 minutes. Let's see, that looks a lot better. Now you could certainly keep going. Again, this is up to you how crispy you want them. And I'm just gonna let them sit for a few minutes. And you're gonna see some of that butter will absorb back into the potatoes and they won't look quite as wet. Now, another thing you could do if you want them super crispy is you could transfer them into the roasting rack and then run them air fry that way. And I know that will crisp them right up. But it's up to you. These look good for me. I'm gonna let them cool a few minutes and we'll plate them up. But I mean, look at these. So good. My whole kitchen smells like garlic and butter right now. It's amazing. All right, taste test time. Cut right into that. Let's see. Yum. Whoop. All right, hold on. Let's try it this way. There we go. See that? Or see the inside? Yum. Doesn't that look great? Oh my gosh, so good. These are so garlic and buttery. They're amazing. You know, I could have just picked it up that way too. Shoved it right in my mouth, but do what you want. These are really, really good. I think you're gonna love them, and they're super easy to make. So that's it. That's how you make these delicious garlic smashed potatoes. So guys, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, click that like button and be sure to subscribe so you can see more videos like this. Bon appetit, guys.